board members of the IACC. My name is Katie Wiseman, and I'm here today on behalf of Safe Minds. I am the very proud mother of 14-year-old identical triplet boys. Nick and Alex have PDD-NOS, and Donnie has autism. I'm here to tell you that the Mercury-autism connection is stronger than it has ever been. For those who say a link has been disproved, I say go and actually read the literature. It currently supports a connection by a 2-to-1 margin. Included in my comments are emails obtained through the Freedom of Information Act showing that autism rates in Denmark actually dropped in 2001 after they removed thimerosal. I've also included Mark Blaxell's graphic analysis of the early VSD data showing 7.6 times the relative risk of autism in children who received high thimerosal by 1 month of age compared to children who received 0 thimerosal. I have read most of the autism abstracts in PubMed for over 4 years now, and I've read hundreds of studies. I've followed the research for over a decade. I can tell you unequivocally the best supported suspect for autism causation is mercury. It will not be the only cause, but it's logical to tackle mercury because so many of the exposures are easy to avoid. And thimerosal is not the only mercury exposure of concern in autism. Other mercury sources, we've got fish, other food, dental amalgam, skin lightening creams, fluorescent light bulbs, Santeria rituals, air pollution, and even tattoos. Any candidate for autism causation must fit trends of exposure and cause symptoms that make sense. Mercury does. Both organic and inorganic mercury are involved. What we need are studies of total mercury exposure relative to autism for both mothers and children. There's currently enough research to write a paper titled How the Known Genetics of Autism Support Mercury Causation. The most promising risk genes are on pathways that are also compromised by mercury. Mercury can cause both DNA mutations and trigger epigenetic effects on those pathways. Please read my full comments for some details of some recent studies, like last week. Last year, Shanley and Austin found that the grandchildren of survivors of acrodynia have 7 times the rate of ASD of the general population in Australia, 1 in 22. Acrodynia is a form of mercury poisoning in a genetically susceptible population. Aging parents, neonatal jaundice, low birth weight, prematurity, all autism risk factors that have connections to mercury. Please read the Autism Mercury paper in your packet for a broader sense of these connections. If we truly mean to improve the lives of those with autism and stop autism's most devastating effects, we need to stop ignoring the obvious. Therefore, I would ask the committee to, 1, look at the autism and mercury literature and actually read the studies. 2, hold a conference on autism with a sampling of the leading autism researchers from various fields and a group of mercury toxicologists to discuss the connections and plan the research that could be done. 3, create a mechanism to determine the effectiveness of the work you are doing. Can you show that any of the studies you funded have actually made a direct difference in the lives of people with autism? And lastly, rebalance the autism portfolio. Commit research dollars towards environmental causation studies, particularly mercury, and actual comparative studies of the best methods for teaching and providing services for people with autism. Fund studies to treat the medical and mental health problems that so dramatically affect individuals with autism. Let's improve the quality of some lives today, and let's try to prevent the severe impacts of autism on individuals in the future. Thank you.
Thank you. Carolyn Rogers.